such a pleasure to be here, to see everybody here on behalf of Wilson, and to be part of this collaborative. Indeed, it does take a village, and I want to thank, for all of us, our wonderful musician friends,
Yeah, woo!
Burning Bad and Cool.
Yeah, woo!
Thank you, thank you. I want to thank Jim and Jay for that awesome musical rendition on the slideshow. That was beautiful. And Michael for your prayers. That was lovely. And I would really like to say a special thank you to Dennis.
Yeah, woo! Yeah. Woo! Absolutely. He did an amazing job.
They say it takes a village, and indeed that's true. And if that's the case, then Dennis is the leader of us village people. You did an awesome job.
Yes. Woo!
I personally want to say that you are such a fine example of a friend to Wilson and to all of us. And I feel humbled and honored to be part of this collaborative. Oh, by the way, Wilson is here. You do know that, right?
Yes, he is. We all know
you know that he's just around the corner and in another room. And he's no longer confined to a body that no longer serves him.
We can't see him.
And God is here.
Yes.
This is what God looks like. This is what God looks like. I'd like to say a few words about how I met Wilson and the impact that his life and his passing has had on me. And I would also like to share some words from Kahil Gibran, from the prophet, with the hope that some comfort and solace will be provided for all of us with the things that I'd like to share. I met Wilson about 6 years ago during a Law of Attraction meetup. It was at the Coastal Peaks Coffee Shop in San Luis. Chuck was there, Patty Hayes, Donna DeGangi, Rob Pitt, and others. You guys remember the way Wilson made CDs from Abraham Hicks, and he provided them for everybody in attendance?
Yep.
He was like that. That's one of the many things that Wilson did. It seems that all things cosmic lit him up. Years later, while considering opening a practice including tapping and Reiki, Wilson offered healing sessions gratis while honing his skills. Our Central Coast 50-plus meetup group grew exponentially along with Wilson's social outlook. Listening to local bands, outdoor concerts, and oldies during Big Chill at the Grad were par for the course, sometimes nightly. I've personally been deeply affected by Wilson's passing. His untimely death has been a not-so-gentle reminder that we have less time in front of us than behind us. And it's incumbent upon each of us and all of us to live our best lives while we still have the chance. That lesson has been both daunting and liberating in turn and all at once. The fact that Wilson made a bucket list, and more importantly, that he honored it, and the timing. Let's talk about the timing. Wilson and Dennis were down in Southern California involved in the dancing competition a mere month before Wilson took his leave, his final bow. No accidents, no coincidences. It's never easy saying goodbye, no matter the circumstances of one's death or the length of years. And again, I am speaking to myself out loud and to everybody in attendance. It is so important for us to follow Wilson's fine example. You know, I was watching the wonderful slideshow, and the way that Wilson's smile just lit up the screen, and the way white light emanated from him. I call Wilson a friend. Perhaps I didn't know him as long or as well as some of you, but he did have that effect. You know, his depth of character, his winning smile. Yeah. But it's his humility, that's what it is. It's his humility that is the legacy that he leaves. Isn't it more important to have a circle of loyal friends, family, than being rich and famous, having a bunch of letters behind our names? So that is among the many things that Wilson has left for us. But wait, there's more. Wilson embodied a quiet strength that was part of his charm. He was unassuming and humble. And Wayne Dyer says, "Don't die with your music still inside you." Don't die with your music still inside you. And of course, Wilson took that figuratively and literally. But what is it that we, individually and collectively, want to do? What kind of heart print do we want to leave? And what the flip are we going to do about it, and when? Many of us are over 60. Some of us are 65 and older. And you know, Wilson, who could have predicted this? Who could have predicted that Wilson would take leave when he did? And that's part of the gift and the miracle of it all. You know, it sounds so trite, live each day as if it's your last. But we need to do that. I mean, again, when we think about the legacy that he left, isn't that what we all want? To have purpose and passion and to make a difference, even a modest one? The more that things change, the more they stay the same regarding love and relationships. When contemplating the gift of friendship in 1923, philosopher and poet Gahil Gibran says, quote, "When you part from your friend, grieve not, for that which you love most in him may be clearer in his absence, as the mountain to the climber is clearer from the plain." I'd like to take a moment, if I could, and further in deference to Gahil Gibran, read a piece that he wrote on joy and sorrow. It's timely, it's timeless, and it's as relevant then as it is now. Oops. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the selfsame well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? And is not the lute that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed with knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it's only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again into your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come, and when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. Verily, you are suspended like scales between your sorrow and your joy. Only when you are empty are you at standstill and balanced. When the treasure keeper lifts you to weigh his gold and his silver, needs must your joy or your sorrow rise and fall. And so, in closing, even as Wilson is sitting here among us, albeit around the corner and out of sight, he is also moving along on his ethereal journey. At his physical end, after his gallant fight, I like to suppose that he was greeted at the gate by a fleet of angels who rejoiced and said, "Welcome home, Wilson. We've been waiting for you." All blessings. Namaste. Love. Amen.
Without a doubt. Yep.